Good morning, everybody. I'm Vincent Meza. This is Listings to Leads. Today we're doing our call on Facebook and Google advertising. And so we definitely want to talk about that and we're going to dive into it. Before we do that, I want to let everybody know that there's a question panel on this platform that if you have questions, just throw them in real time. Doug is saying that the Q&A are hard to find. There's a little question mark on the flag and that says questions. Everything is hard for me to find on this platform, but we'll make it. Before I dive in, I do want to give you a high level of what listings, in case you don't quite know. We're a real estate advertising platform, primarily designed for realtors, and you're able to market your listings. If you don't have listings, we have a bunch of tools to help you market. And we have landing pages. We have PDF guides. We're going to see some of that in this call today. And then if you want to build your brand, we're there to help you on social media and stuff like that. So there's just a lot here that can be done with Listings to Lead. And so realtors, that's really been our core focus, but we have a lot of team accounts. You can always reach out to me at Vince at Listings to Lead. How can we improve the lead quality? That's an interesting question, Kel. We'll talk a little bit about that. And then, I want to give you some resources of what we can look at. Cause I'm going to start diving and showing you how to run ads on Facebook and Google and tell you the reasons why you should run ads on Facebook. But I want you to also know that our platform does a lot. Okay. And it can, if you invest your time, and I know that's a big ask, a lot of our clients have doubled and tripled their business within a couple of years. They do this not by signing up and forgetting that they logged or signed up. They do this by learning how to use the system and then using the tools accordingly. What I'm showing you here, I'm going to send to everybody. It's our YouTube channel. This call right now is being recorded, and every call that I do is being recorded. And Scott does a lot of calls as well. And I want to point out to you things that I think we should be watching. So somebody asked about lead call and can we improve the quality of leads? And I think in some ways you can't in every way, but you can in some way. And one of those ways I covered 8 days ago in a custom audience for more listing. And that has to do with Facebook advertising. So this call is top tools to get more listing. And what I am telling you is that if you create a custom audience, you can get high quality listing leads. Right. Now that's a custom audience for running ads on Facebook. You could also get a custom audience and get these by companies like Remine or ListSource. And you can use that in your mailing, right? So if you're using our tools for mailing to get more listings, that's going to work for you as well. So that right there is the simplest way of thinking, how can I increase lead quality? You actually start with a list of homeowners. That's if you're getting lists. And then, so that's an aside there. There's a call here of Facebook and Google, which is what we're doing right now. And then there's a get started call. And if you're new to our accounts or new to our system, I definitely recommend that you watch that because it tells you how to turn everything on. A lot of clients, a lot of people just like you, they see one thing. Is there a way to enlarge the screen? Guys, I think that's on your side, John. So let me send this to everybody right now. This is a link to our YouTube channel. It might be blinking somewhere from your little GoToMeeting bar. And I would save this. And if you email me, I usually send you a link to this. And I tell you to watch 3 of these. But I'm going to tell you what I've been telling people a lot, which is watch the top 10. It will get repetitive, but you will know really what it is that you can do with this. And ideally you start applying it. If you do that, you're going to end up seeing that your business grows, that you get more leads, you get more buyer leads, you get more seller leads, and you get high quality leads and you start closing business. I want to show you one more thing. I'm going to show you 2 more things, actually. One is our mastermind group. If you're a client, use our support page and get in our mastermind. Okay. And that's where Scott and I talk about the new technology that we're pushing. It's also where our clients talk about the latest things that they're doing. And we do put a lot of our clients are putting some really incredible stuff in here, telling us what's happening and the success they're having. And there's certainly clients that are putting questions. They just don't understand what's going on. And so they ask there. Not the greatest place to ask for help. The greatest place to ask for help is our support team, which is on the bottom line. And then lastly, if you want to listen to me yammer on live here, go to leadgenwebinars.com and sign up for these classes right here. We usually do these, the times are right here, 10 or 11 a.m. Pacific. So if you want to be here and ask questions like we are today, then that kind of works too. So that's leadgenwebinars.com. Okay. So let's get into it. And before we talk about how we do it, how you run ads, I'm going to just at a high level, talk a little bit about why would we run ads on Facebook? I know some of you have, and I know many of you haven't, but even if you had, you might not have been successful. And to me, that's very understandable because Facebook changes a lot. And also, you may not know this, Facebook has been sued by HUD for illegal advertising, meaning people just like you were running ads that were illegal from HUD's standard, right? Or from their guideline. Some of the targeting that we used to be able to do on Facebook is gone. And that makes things challenging. Now, I do have a way to work with that. We'll talk about that at the end of the call. Let's see. Yeah. Is there a way to enlarge the screen? There must be a button to enlarge the screen, guys. Let's see here. I think I've got more questions. Want to advance to Google and target areas. Yeah. Okay. We'll talk. I'm here to say hi. Yeah. Sorry. So let's first talk about ads, right? On Facebook compared to Google. Okay. Now, the thing is, what you probably don't know about Facebook, and it doesn't matter that you like social media, right? I'm not even talking about that. What you should know is that American adults like social media, right? These are my friends talking about David Bowie. I can see where they're vacationing, or I can see my family, and I can see what they're eating, and I can follow all the fun things that I like. And that's what Facebook is about, right? Here is my friend at her office, right? Just sharing your picture. And as mundane as this stuff seems, it holds the attention of American adults, not American teenagers, every day. People log in here and scroll through this page just like I'm doing right now. And they look at what their grandkids are doing. They look at their family. They look at their colleagues and stuff like that for 40 minutes every day. American adults for 40 minutes every day scroll through this page. So that is a big reason why you might want to be on Facebook. But let me show you something different. Facebook is actually the number 3 website in the country, and they do enjoy having a lot of people there. But the number 1 website on the country is Google. Okay. And so you may know that it's built into smartphones. Google is everywhere. It's the number 1 website in the country. Why? When we were just on Google, you'll notice there was only one thing to do: ask a question. That's it. It's not like a real estate agent's website where there's all kinds of links and stuff all over the place. It's got one function: ask a question and get an answer. And that's why 86% of all Americans go to Google to ask their questions. I need to sell my home. What are my taxes like when I sell my home? What should I think about in probate, capital gains? All those things, all those questions happen on Google. People don't ask that question on Facebook, right? Because Yahoo friends are going to answer. That's not really a special answer. Still, Facebook is important. Okay. Now, you see here when I ask that question, how do I sell my home? I sit in Lafayette, California. So these people right here are paying for these keywords, that question. And their target is, hey, if somebody's sitting in Lafayette, California and types in those words on Google, I want to show up on page one. And I ask you, like, are you on page one of Google? Let's see. To maximize the screen, click on the square box in the upper right. Somebody is answering the question. Click zoom in on the right side of the screen. Yeah. Okay. So there's, yeah, to a larger screen. Yeah. Hopefully all of you get the enlarged screen pickup. Okay. What I'm trying to let you know is why Facebook as opposed to Google. There's also another reason to think about Facebook differently from Google. The leads on Google are more expensive. Okay. Oh, I have to do it on my end. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Is that helping? God. Darn it. Really? Give me a second, guys. Yeah. Oh, here. What's this word? Guys, can you see this? Is that better? Sorry, it's getting really confusing. Sharing this. Guys, did that help at all? They need a good no change. Okay. Sorry. And the chat is open. It's in the question. So everybody's putting their questions in the question. Sorry that we're having. Yeah. So it sounds like it's large enough. Okay. So if you have questions, put it in the question section. I'll be able to see. All right. So we are back. So I wanted to, let's get back to the Facebook and Google thing. Facebook leads are less expensive than Google leads. And there is a good reason why. It's not where people are coming to out. You know, it's where it's seems better than you go to. Yeah. Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah. They just did an upgrade here. And so Garland is saying it's getting worse. We continue. Okay. I'm going to go with perfect. And you guys might, if some of you can get to perfect, that means all of you. All right. Like I said, Facebook leads are less expensive, but they're not as high as quality. Now we can make some of the leads higher quality, but still, that's just how it is. And so we'll talk about the price of leads in just a minute. And what else do we need to know? Let's get, oh, I will say one last thing. If you're a new agent or if you're an agent with less budget, I would tell you to focus on Facebook up front. Okay. And meaning start on Facebook before you start doing Google, because on average, I'm going to just give you a number. You can expect a Google seller lead to cost $20, $25 on Facebook. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less based on where you are. But each lead is going to cost that. So if you spend $100 and they sell leads for $25 each, you're going to get 4 leads, right? I'm going to show you ways to get more leads per dollar on Facebook. But I'm also going to tell you, you're going to have to do a little work to make those high quality. Okay. So let's get into how we create them. And I also want to say, I'm going to start right here on Facebook, and I'm going to create an ad on a home that's for sale. When you want buyer leads, I cannot think of a better way to get buyer leads with name, email, and phone number than Facebook. Okay. That's it. Because I know that there are ways. I've spoken to plenty of people who spend $500 a month and get 4 leads from Zillow, right? And that might seem like an awesome deal. They do sell the same leads to 3 other agents at the same time. But if that model works for you, cool, right? Here's the details here. Leave it on lead ads. Why are we doing that? Why am I telling you that? That's because we have the software from Facebook that when they respond to the ad and they click on it, their name, email, and phone number will be automatically imported from their profile. So nobody is typing in their name, email, and phone number. This is important. And this is why we've got a lot of tools, probably more than 100 tools that capture leads. And I can tell you from 14 years experience, if you ask people to type in their name, email, and phone number, it's not likely going to happen. But if you use an ad on Facebook, which will look just like this, and they click on it or they click learn more, their name, email, phone number is going to be pre-populated from Facebook. And they're like, yeah, that's good. That's good. Somebody says, use the pop out button to enlarge your screen, however much you want. Thanks, Allison. So we're here. I can just tell you to finish this ad, you just click one simple button, publish. You can also, if you want to customize this, you click in this text box first and say whatever you want to say. Create schools. Right. You might have a school district that people really want to be in, or maybe you've got a new wine cellar or custom, whatever, right? You could literally type that right there. And this ad's going to go out. We're already targeting the city in a 15-mile radius. Okay. So really easy to get leads and name, email, and phone number from Facebook. I also want to point this out. I don't know if you can see it, but on the top, it says it's sponsored by the best listing. The first step here is you're going to connect your Facebook account, and it's going to be sponsored by your business page. So if you're a new agent, I really highly stress that you start spending money on Facebook ads. And here's why. If you're a newly licensed agent and you're part of a big office or a small office, you are most likely nobody knows you're an agent except for your close friends and family. And that's cool. Maybe you get some referrals, right? But you want hundreds, if not thousands of people to know you're a realtor. And every time you spend $35 on an ad, your business page right there, it's going to say you, Rockstar Realtor in your town, or whatever you name that business page. It's going to be sponsoring this. And at least 1,000 people are going to see that ad. Now, you're not going to get 1,000 leads, and that's because there is a cost per lead. So when we run a $35 ad, Facebook decides how much they're going to charge you per lead. Okay. And so if they say, hey, it's going to be $3 a lead, which currently is the average cost of a lead on Facebook for a buyer lead, that means you can divide 3 into 35, right? I got 35 here. So I'm going to get maybe 11 leads, maybe 10, maybe 12. That makes sense? It's pay-per-click advertising. Every time you get a lead, you're going to get, that's what's happening. Now, I'm going to jump out of this because I think I definitely want you to understand what Facebook ads are, right? And we actually have a client out in the Carolinas. They're an expansion team from Keller Williams. And all they do with our system is run ads on Facebook. They ignore the rest of our platform, but the way that their team is configured, they need to get buyer leads to their agents on their team. Okay. Let's go look live at what they're doing. And I think you'll learn a lot by just seeing what the results of ads. Okay. And so when they do this, it's done slightly differently because what they're doing is they're pulling in listings from various offices because they have agents in multiple offices inside 2 states. And I launched this account in Halloween of 2022. Okay. So that's almost 15 months ago. And what they've been doing is they have been running ads for around $100 each. So you see they have 578 ads over here. They spend about $100 each, of 55,000. They have nearly 16,000 buyer leads. But here's the other thing, and I want to point this out for all of you who are considering making your brand. They've got 3.5 million people have seen their ads, have seen Keller Williams, right, in the Carolinas. And they've been doing this for well over a year. And if we look down here, we can see the cost per lead. So notice they spent $100 a year. 3,700 people were reached. That means 3,700 people saw it. Their cost per lead is $11. That's high. And then they got 9 leads. Here, 2,500 people saw this. Their cost per lead, CPL, is $4.28. Why is it different? These homes look almost exactly the same. I don't have an answer. I just don't have an answer for you. I think it's competition. Do they have competition? Other agents like you running ads at the same time, driving up that cost per lead. Over here, 2,000 people saw it, 573. Now, these ads are actually going on right now. They're live. You can tell that they've only spent $34 of the $100. And that means they're like halfway through the ad. So let's click on page 4 and see some ads that are completely finished. I'm going to have a sip of tea here. Let's wait for the next page. If you want to put questions in the question panel there, I will answer them right after we look at this next. Let's see the questions. The videos on YouTube are on to educate purposes, or we can post them into our own channel. I don't think you want to post them into your own channel, Abe, because I don't think they're relevant to your target market. Yeah. Will there be a recording of this? Yes, Libby. It will be on our channel right here, which I sent to everybody. This is our YouTube channel. And if you go to our videos page, every one of these calls is recorded and put. Let's see, do we get on the ads page? Yeah. These ads that we're looking at here are completed. They've all spent $400 of their 100. So let's look here. This one got 18 leads, $5.56 a lead, 2,300 views, 2,100 views, $6.67. So you see, it's not the same price per lead all the time. On average, it's about $3. Okay. Down here, $2.02 a lead, $9 a lead, $10 a lead, right? It goes up and down. It's just a weird thing. But I just wanted to show you, like, that is what's going on Facebook. On average, it's $3 a lead, right? Let's sign out. And this, by the way, is a live account that's out there in the Carolinas. And I think what you should think of, and I was saying this earlier, is if you're a new agent, you probably cannot afford to be running ads on Google. And here's a big reason why. I think you should focus on Google when you want listings, you want high quality listings. Because those questions on Google, those are written by people who have a real need. They have a question on their mind and they're like, hey, how do I sell my home? They don't go to Facebook to ask, they go to Google. Now, what we did is we ran an ad on a property that was for sale. But what about when we have properties that are pending or sold? Now I'm going to go to run an ad in this area. You can actually run ads in 2 different areas. So here we get to look at some of the other marketing tools to create. But I've got a property here that's sold, and I'm going to click on Facebook and Instagram ads. And just like that other page, we're going to write the ad right here. Okay. So remember how I showed you with the Keller Williams account that they were trying to get buyer leads, and I was telling you, here's the range of prices, and it boils down across the country to about $3 a lead. Now we're running an ad on a property that's sold, and Facebook knows if you're a realtor and you're running an ad on a property that's sold, it's because you want listing, and they know that listings are more important to you than buyers. Guess what? They charge you more for this lead. On average, this kind of lead for just sold costs $7 each. Okay. And because those seller leads are more expensive, we change your default budget to $50. Okay. And that means if it's 7 divided into 50, you're going to get about 7 leads. All right. Now I want to remind you, you're getting name, email, and phone number here. You can reach out to them and say, hey, I see you want your home value. Can I get your address? Get that together. That's how this lead works. Okay. It's a $50 ad for 7 days. If you get good at these and you start understanding that how it's working, you can always increase the budget, right? You can't decrease it too much, but you can increase it. See some questions here. Feel free to put those in. Let's take a break and look at this question. Why some leads got from previous ad and was not added to my Moxie? Oh, I don't know. That's a great question for support though. The cost per lead is generally higher for seller leads. If so, why? I just answered that question, David. It's because Facebook knows that listing leads are more important to you. Yeah. Okay. Let's keep going. Here's the thing though, that I want you to understand about Facebook. You see this radius here? you cannot tighten a tighter radius, right? So you can't make it like just people who live in Folsom. 5 years ago, you could. But let me show you a challenge here. And this gets into a bigger part of Facebook and why it's can be not really effective. Okay. And because when you run an ad that is targeting, that's talking about Folsom, it's shooting all over the place. You see this map here, right in the center. I'm moving my mouse. That's Folsom. Okay. And if I back out, let's see. Yeah, this is about a 15-mile radius. There's a lot of little towns in here, right? So if you're running an ad saying, hey, I just sold a home in Folsom, are these people in Loomis, in Newcastle, in over here, all these towns, do they care? Probably not. They may not. But the ad does say your home value has been affected. But this would really be a great ad if it just targeted people who live in Folsom, California. And that's an important to that we need to acknowledge is that targeting is not great. This ad can work for people, but as we keep going further down, we go look at the other kinds of ads. There are some ads that really don't work very well. So I want to really target that. Let's see. I got a question here from Martin while we're going over to the ads page. I'm paying 50 for ads and I'm not getting anyone clicking on. So are you running an ad? Are you sure you're running an ad with traffic? I'm going to go look. He sent me a link to this. Price reduce. Okay. What you're thinking, Martin, is when we run an ad, let me show you what I'm talking about. Martin sent me his page there and he's saying, hey, I want people to click on that. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about what you say. I'm paying for $50 for ads and I'm not getting anyone clicking on it. So I'm not quite sure why nobody is clicking on it. But when we create an ad and what he sold us, price reduced, is a landing page. This is a landing page that we auto generate for a property. Okay. And so I don't know how Martin there is running that ad, but let's do this. Let's say this is a landing page for, I don't actually have that one, but I have another one. Let's just do new construction. Okay. Now, Martin, are you at this point, are you leaving it in lead ads or are you doing traffic? If you do traffic, when somebody clicks on the ad, they're going to land on this. And if there is nobody clicking here, you're not getting that lead. So you got to ask yourself that first. Is it a traffic lead or is it a lead ad? Because if it's a lead ad, and that's what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a lead ad. We auto write this text up here. I don't know what you're doing, but that's that text. If that text is not compelling, then I'm not going to click it. Right. And if I clicked on it and you're using our lead ads, which is what I'm describing here, this window pops up with my name, email, and phone number automatically. And that's how it works. Right. And they say, do you want that information? And the answer is yes. And boom, I send you my information. Right. So you got to find out, Martin, are you running a lead ad or are you running a traffic ad? And you also, I know it's a property page. I know what that is. Yeah. But, are 0 people seeing the ad or are people seeing it and not clicking it? If they're seeing it and not clicking it, the picture of the home might not be compelling or the language up here that you can edit. Right. So that's really what it is. And then here, Lauren's asking, what about targeting people from out of state? A lot of people are moving to Florida and I want to be able to target them. Yeah, that is a great question. Go back and do that. And I wanted to mention that earlier when it comes to marketing listings. Often, if you're in the southern states, there is a trend of people moving, right? From high tax states to low tax states. That's a big deal. So if I got a home for sale, I want to lead ads because I like getting name, email, and phone number with my leads. I'm going to click create an ad and it will always target the city that it's in. And you can say, you know what? I want to target Chicago. There's actually an agent in Chicago that has been a client of ours for a long time. You can target Hoboken, New Jersey. People move out of New Jersey, they move out of Manhattan, right? Makes sense. That's how you target people in other areas. Now, I will tell you this one client who was from Chicago, works as a realtor in Naples. He'll definitely target Chicago. When he gets that lead, he'll be like, hey, is that restaurant still there? And so he can really build rapport very quickly and say, yeah, I've lived down here for 20 years. Let me help you. I know everything about this. Right. And then let's look at questions. Are the listings in the account your listings, or does it pull from your office? Automatically, it will pull your listing. If you want to pull your office listings, you go to the listings page and there's a button that says add listing. And then there's an option to grab a listing, and there you can grab your listings from the office. This does allow us. And so Allison is asking, does this allow us to create custom audiences? We're not there yet, but yes, using our own databases. And you definitely want to create custom audiences if you want more listing. We're right now just talking about buyers. Right? Now we're an ad. Maybe it's in Florida. You're targeting Chicago. But there are a couple of ways. We just did a sold ad, and that gets listed. And I told you it's already spread out. So let's tackle that. Let's kind of a company called listsource.com by CoreLogic. You can get inexpensive lists of homeowners. I recommend getting a list of homeowners with more than 5 years equity. There are other great companies that will sell you lists, and those lists are like, they have a grade on them and a score. And that's just how. So here's a couple questions. Is that a manual process? Yeah, I'm going to show you the manual process in just a second. And then how do I run an ad for a listing when you don't have any listing? You can borrow listings. We'll go over there and look at that, but you can borrow listings and says lead ads, buyer. Okay. So Martin, you ran lead ads and you're trying to get buyer leads. And is there any view on the ad? Can you see underneath it? Cause it should be. And what I'm asking you, Martin, is if you're looking here at your ad, do you see is there any eyeballs, any reach? Like over here, I've got reach 316. Do you see any of that? Because that means it's active and it's working. If it's not even being seen, then something's really wrong. So a custom audience is more important for sellers. That's totally right, David. When we're running ads for buyers, it doesn't matter. You just run ads on listings. So let's go over, because the question keeps coming up. Let's go over to listings. Okay. This is the listings page. And when you're on listings, if you have an email address in your MLS field, we'll sweep your listings automatically. Okay. But if you don't have listings, you could go over here, click on add listings and click grab and drop in the MLS number and zip code of any property, and we'll pull it in, and all the things that we're doing today will happen, right? So you'll be able to run ads. Definitely recommend doing that. 484 people saw it. Okay. That means people are seeing your ad, Martin, and you have no leads, correct? If you have no leads, my guess is you need to rewrite your ad. Okay. So what Martin is telling us is he's got an ad, and it's got maybe this picture right here. 484 people have looked at it. They just, as they're scrolling through Facebook, they're seeing his ad, and it's showing up on this feed right here, but nobody is clicking. So to me, that means that people are seeing and they're not interested in his property. Now, maybe this picture is not great. Maybe a picture of a really great kitchen or something could work. And maybe just the language. So when we run an ad in our system, let's just run an ad here on a property that is sold. Let's just do that. And this is what Martin has done. He's said, I want to create a Facebook ad. And so we're learning in real time of why things are not working, what's not going on. So right here, when we do this, the ad is written. Okay. Now this one's open house. His is price reduced. So it probably says price reduced in Ottawa. And there may be some information. Yeah. Oh, you tried different languages, different pics, and still nothing happening. And you're still getting views. Is that correct, Martin? Because that is not good. and different languages. You're still getting views every time and nobody is clicking. And you're using lead ads. Boy, I have no idea. That that to me, I would make what I would be doing is whatever is here that is compelling about that home. I would start and what Martin is saying is he's changed the language. So I would say I would put like price reduced in Ottawa, and I would start bullet pointing just the highlight. Less marketing speak, more like why is this? Why you have to buy this house? Why you got to look at it? The change ad was not. It was. I got a notification from the system to change my ad as it was okay. Yeah, yeah, interesting. Okay, so that's maybe if you did you get that message from us or from Facebook? Because if somebody is telling you that the ad is not working, and that means change the language. Yeah, definitely. If you're getting views, that means people are looking at it. They're scrolling by it, but they're not really responding. Oh, from us, from listings. Oh, that's good. I didn't even know we did that. That's good. Can I ask how leads from Facebook ads come through? Is it a text? It's usually an email, Violet, and it will have the name, email, and phone number there. I don't know. Okay. So let's get back to this part, right? Let's talk about, we talked about, yes, leads can be followed up, can be followed with a follow-up boss on your profile. That's why everybody, you got to go watch your Get Started call. It's on our YouTube channel. Let me send this to everybody because really, you guys are not really setting anything up. If you're not setting up your connection to your CRM, that's like the worst thing that you could be doing. So I'm going to send this to everybody one more time. Please open it right now and save it. And please just watch the top 10 call. Okay. I know it's a long time. You want your business to grow. It's the best investment I think you can make. Our system works. It helps so many ways. If you have listings, if you don't have listings. Let's talk about we want listings. Let's talk about why you need a custom audience in Facebook if you want high quality seller. Okay. Let's talk about Concord. Concord is a town just near me. I'm leaving it on lead ads because I want name, email, phone number. And I want, now I want to point out, I already created a landing page on the landing page over here for Concord. And that landing page will create, well, if you land on it, it will create an instant home value. This ad, however, is not going to create an instant home value. It's going to get their name, email, and phone number, right? Even though it says it's instant, like it's going to say boom, and then we'll drop them on the page. But the first thing it gets is it's going to get name, email, and phone number, and then it'll drop them on that page. But let me show you why Facebook, when it comes to running a home value ad like this, is problematic. You'll notice it says Concord, right? Because it says, what is your home? So up here, you can say, what is your Concord home? And on the picture, you wouldn't recognize it. This is like the plaza of Palo Santo. It's the park. It's a beautiful park. There's restaurants all the way around, large oak trees. This is the center of Concord, and everybody knows clock, right? So you could say something like this: 30 people sold in Concord this month, and that makes 100 for the year, right? Something like that gets me to slow down to respond to the app, right? Maybe you say high, lows, and high, whatever the price was, right? And click here to get your value, right? Who's going to respond to this? Only somebody who has a home, right? Here's the problem. That's one issue. You want to make sure that that language is target. The other issue is I'm going to type in Concord and let's go see what that means. Concord, California. So if I go to California, this is the challenge with a home value ad like and let's go look at it in maps. Again, it was similar to that story I was showing you this is Concord right here. Okay, and there's a lot of homes here. and it's a beautiful little up and coming town. And this is about a 15-mile radius. Okay. So just way not targeting Concord anymore. You are targeting on, you're just shooting the thing, talking about what's going on in Concord, but it's not even targeting, it's shooting all over. So you get very low value here. Now let's talk about one more thing. We're looking for seller leads. So we've got a $50 budget. This kind of ad has been run by agents on Facebook for over 10 years. So they know this is an important kind of ad and lead for you to run. Okay. So these leads cost the most on Facebook. They're about $15 each. Okay. Could be a little more, could be a little less. But if I'm spending a $50 ad for 7 days, I'm only going to get 3 leads. Okay. Because they're $15 each. So if they're charging you 25 each, which they might in some parts of the country, you would get 2 leads. You really want to know that you're doing this correctly before you start upping that budget. And let's talk about how to do this correctly. If I want to target Concord, I'm definitely going to go to ListSource and buy a list of homeowners that have more than 5 years equity. And then I'm going to go over to my Facebook, to our listings to leads account, and I'm going to upload that list and make it a custom audience. So you see right here, it says retarget current leads. This should be off. But if you want to retarget current leads, you could say, I'm not going to target this way with Facebook. I am going to target down here with my L2L custom audience. Now you would name the custom audience LL Concord homeowners, right? Around me, I've got 5 or 10 cities. You want a list for every one of those if you're serious about building listings in those cities. Otherwise, you're not really targeting very well with Facebook. So that's issue that you definitely need. So let's go back to the ad section and see, where do we create this? Now I have a button here that says create audience. If you don't have that button, it's because you have a yellow down here saying accept the custom audience terms. There's actually terms. When you click on it, there's this long, ugly page on Facebook with all this language that you don't read, but right at the top, it says accept, and you click that and you come back here, you refresh this page, and that custom audience message will turn around and say, turn on retargeting. And there, now you've done what would take you probably 2 hours in Facebook in about 10 seconds. How do we create the audience? We click on this button. This part here, guys, is really important. I have had realtors call me multiple times testing and trying to do this. And it's simply because they're not following these instructions. We should make the instructions deeper. But if we make deeper instructions, nobody reads it. We make it really short. Okay. Here are the steps to create a custom audience. Name it, right? Call it Concord Homeowner. Easy. Upload a file that has to be 1,000 leads long. Okay. Minimum. Some of you have developments where they're 250 homes. That will not work. Either add more homes, add more people to that list, or don't create it. But the most important thing is use this format. We should probably increase this, because that looks like a thing that you don't even need to pay attention to. But if you don't pay attention to this, your list is not going to work. And unfortunately, we don't tell you that they're bad. We don't tell you like, hey, that's a bad list. It has to have those headings right on the top. Okay. Email, number, first name, last name, just like that. It doesn't have to be bold, but it has to be those words. And then you have to have those columns. Now, when you buy a list from these other companies like RedX and Relight and ListSource, they often give you like 25, 30 columns of data. What do you do with that? You save all that, and then you save a copy of this, and you get rid of everything except for those 4 columns of data. Okay. That's how you create that list. And then you upload it right here. And then you click this button that says import, and this list will live in your private Facebook ad account. Even if you say, is this the process to target neighborhoods? Yes, Howard, that is. Now it has to be a neighborhood of 1,000 people, but that is exactly how you do that. And so there are people here on this call that want to target certain towns and certain neighborhoods. That is how you do it with Facebook. And then I definitely recommend that. And so now let's talk about some other ways to run ads, and let's click on PDF guide. So you don't know this. You probably don't. There are 80 different PDF guides pre-written for you. And you are branded on every page, your logo, your color scheme, your theme, your picture, your phone number, all there. Import contact list into is both Facebook and CRM. David, can you re-ask that question? Import contact list. If you connect your CRM on your listings to leads profile, we will drop it in there. We will put the leads there. I don't know about the Facebook. Import contacts in both Facebook. Oh, yes. Yeah. Got it. Yes. Okay. I think I understand. Let me finish this here, David, and re-ask this if I don't come back to it. There are buyer guides. We're talking about Facebook ads. I definitely recommend you go check out the buyer guides and market these things. But to get leads on Facebook, I recommend you market listings, even if you borrow a listing. That's like the cheapest way. But if we're talking about sellers, let's talk about sellers real quick. Right. And again, I think we got to focus on that because the fastest way is running ads on Facebook to get buyers. I'm going to do divorce and real estate. You know why? Lead ads, because I want to name email and both. The average length of home ownership in the United States is 7 years. I think it's 7 years. Is that right? Do you want to know the average length of a marriage in the United States? 7 or 8 years. So this is probably happening in your community. And if you type in a location, can carry on with Concord, we already know that this, which is not actually talking about Concord at all, it's just saying divorce and real estate. This is going to go all over the place. Not bad, not horrible. You might get leads in all the other areas that we were looking at. I would be happy to drive that park for business, right? 15 miles. Okay, that's cool. So I don't have to worry about that custom audience list there. But with the landing page that's talking about a specific city, I might want to do that. Now, here's another thing, because Howard says, is this how you target a specific neighborhood? Let's say that there's a specific neighborhood and you want to own that neighborhood, right? I might say, you know what, even though I don't want to get it, I might run this out a target 15-mile radius on Concord. And then I might run it again and say, I want to just target that custom audience of people that I really want, because if you're really trying to dominate that for them, then you really target those people. You might say, hey, I just sold a home. Hey, I just listed a home. And you might target that audience so that they get to know you are there, because they're going to see your brand. So that's really what goes on with Facebook. I want to point out that when you're running, and if you write anything down, I recommend this. When you're running a listing ad on a property that is for sale, buyer lead costs about $3. If you run an ad on a property that's sold, seller leads cost about $7. If you run an ad on a property that is pending or under contract, those leads cost around $2.50. That's the cheapest way to get leads for homeowners with name, email, and phone number. Running an ad on a property that's pending or sold, or pending or under contract. Why? Because nobody is doing it. And then, we're going to jump in Google. We've been going on really long about Facebook today. Landing page ads for home values are about $15. If you're running ads for new construction or any other landing page, they're definitely cheaper. And then PDF guide leads, those leads cost around $10 each. Still a $50 ad, you're going to get 5, 10, 5. They can be more, right? And let's see here. Have I used Cole Realty to purchase leads? I haven't, but they're a great company, Howard. If they have what you need, then I would get that. I tried a question with Google. I tried setting up Google ads to generate seller leads, but proposed spend was extremely high. It cost me $1,000. Where do you live? What city are you in, Michael? And let's talk about Google. We're going to have another call. I'll start with Google. Today we really got stuck on Facebook, but I think we need to really understand Facebook. I really want you to watch Google, to be thinking about Google if you can afford it. And as Michael is saying, the proposed spend is high. I don't know how you get to $1,000, but let's do the obvious thing on Google. Let's run that ad on Google for Conquer. Running an ad like this, these leads cost about in California here, I don't even know. I'm going to say $25, okay, each. So if I'm running a $50 ad on an every day for 7 days, which is the default setting, it's going to, and they're charging $25 each. I'm probably going to get 2 leads a day. Okay. So you're in Staten Island. Where do you get the $1,000 budget from, Michael? And that doesn't totally surprise me. Things are expensive out there because you're in the New York region. Things in Manhattan on Facebook cost way more than they cost in other smaller states. Okay. But $1,000 ad, I don't even know what you're talking about. So help me understand how you got it. Oh, suggested. Okay. So let me tell you guys, and let me just point out the link. I'm going to click on the link. You don't have to click on it. This is the home value ad or landing page that I am running. So on Google, you only run traffic, and that's what we're doing. If I type in Concord, I'm going to just guess a seller lead in Concord costs $25 each. In Dallas, Texas, a seller lead in Dallas costs $30 each. In Utah, Salt Lake City, $17 each. In Western Pennsylvania, that is 20. Western Pennsylvania, sorry, it's like, I'm trying to get some math here. $22 each, right? $22 each in Western Pennsylvania. So if you're saying you're going to, and let's just say that you're basically Manhattan. Let's say that this lead costs you $50 each in Manhattan. You would get 20 leads, Michael. I don't know the actual cost, but Dallas is 30. You might be the same as Dallas, or you might cost more. So that's why, but that's 20 leads a day. That's a lot of money. I would not start there. I would start here with a $50 daily budget, 100, and see how many leads you get. You will figure out the cost of lead. If it's over $100, well, I don't even know if I would do that. I think I would literally be getting a custom audience and getting really good on it. Okay. So $1,000 for a week long. That makes $1,000 for a week long. And so now, and I just chose $50 a lead because I'm just saying it's going to be more expensive than Dallas. I don't really. But let's get back to the broader discussion, which is, I think you start on Facebook because it's affordable, but when you get to Google and you can write PDF guidance, right, for sellers, because there's a lot of valuable stuff. We talked about divorce earlier. I don't want to be, a downer here. So, but you can run it out on divorce and real estate. I guarantee you somebody in New York is going to be thinking, they're going to type in the word divorce on Google and this ad could possibly pop up. But let's say the 5 dangers of overpricing, right? Is that a reality in your market? Can you overprice this? If I type in Tampa, this is what's going to show up, right? This is the kind of ad. And when they click on it, they're going to land on a page where they give it the information to get that. That's how Google works. Now, I will point this out because Michael raised a question which is like, how expensive are leads in New York? And they're expensive, I'm sure. In Canada, and somebody here is from Canada, from Ottawa, there's a market, Vancouver, which is on the West Coast in British Columbia. Leads from home value ad, like my Concord one that I just did, on Google costs $200 to $300 each. Okay. That's a lot of money. So I was talking to an agent who had been a seasoned agent, and he was like, yeah, I don't even play on Google because all the big teams were having money come in from China and other areas, just driving up prices. And so to make money, they're welcome. They are happy to spend a lot of money on those leads because they're important, right? They're valuable. But if you are getting started, or in the case of this one gentleman, been in it for 5 years, I just can't afford to compete on Google. So I compete on Facebook until I can afford to compete on Google. And that's the way to do that. So Michael's saying that the suggested spend was $1,000 a week. I would not start there, but I get it. And let me talk a little bit about a suggested spend that I think everybody should think. If you're new to the industry, I tell agents to run like $200 a month on Facebook and divide that into 4 $50 ads or 8 $25 ads. Some for buyers, some for sellers. Get a mix of people. For that $200, your business page will be seen probably 10,000 times a month, maybe even 15 or 20,000 times every month. That's how you build your brand. And yes, you're going to catch 50 to 100 leads a month, right? Now we had somebody on here say, yeah, it wasn't working for me. And I'm not quite sure why that's not working, but there's a question here. If you have questions, I know we're going to run long here, but I'll be happy to answer your questions. Let's see. I saw it here. Can more than one audience be created for running ads? Yes. Wait, more than one audience be created from running multiple ads? Yes. So you can, when you create an audience, and let's say I created a conquered audience, I could run multiple ads using that same audience over and over. You should do that. You should be, if that audience is important to you, you should be running ads at least once a week to that audience to let them know that you are here to help them. So I hope that answers that question for you, Kevin. Let's see. What other questions do we have? There was another one I wanted to look at. Can we attach PDFs to the Google ads? If you're running our ads on the PDF guide, and as I mentioned, there are 80, we actually attach, when they respond to the ad, they land on a page where they can download it immediately as long as they get it. So I don't think you need to worry about that. Just use any of our PDF guides, Michael. That's what's going to get people there. If I buy a list, should I load the list of Facebook custom? Yeah. And so let me answer that question a little bit more. So he says, if I buy a list, should I upload it to Facebook and CR? And the answer, I think, is definitely yes. Upload it to Facebook to target, right? But also if it's in your CRM, can you do an email blast to that same audience? So you're hitting them an email, you're hitting them on Facebook. And then lastly, can you use our nearby homeowner letter or other valuable print tools to hit that same list? Now you're targeting an important list on 3 different platforms. And this is really strong advertising. So I totally right. I'm going to jump. If I don't see more questions, we're running late. I appreciate hanging out with me. Okay. How much do these lists cost? I think actually they're like less than $50 on ListSource, but go ask. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. I think there's like a $25 minimum. Yeah. Oh, I did want to tell you this. If you're a beginner, $200 on Facebook. Don't even think about Google until you get like some real business and you can afford to compete there. If you're an agent with multiple listings, you probably want to be spending 300 or 400. Some people are spending 500, 600, 700 a month on multiple ads. Okay. If you've got multiple listings, that's going to be important because you'll build your brand. And I'll tell you, we have many longtime clients. And one guy who some of you may know, his name's Shannon Playa. He's a realtor, a coach now. And I remember when he got started with this, he was like, yeah, I'm running ads. And he's always got 5 listings at a time. So he was always running multiple ads on Facebook every week. And then he let us know, hey, I don't even have to run ads because people are calling me just saying, I know you're a realtor because you're all over Facebook. Right. That's really the power of advertising, that they know you are there, right? Not running an ad once a month or once a couple of times a year and thinking that's going to be a changing your phone and email. Not all lists have accurate phone numbers. Can I select only? Yeah, I don't know. Near it, I don't know the answer to your question. Who wants to know, do they all have accurate phone and email? Can you select ones with phone and email? You'd have to ask those companies. I don't work for those companies. So everybody, thanks for hanging out with me. Sorry about that wonky start, this new platform. I got to get used to it. But if you have questions, please ask the support team. They're down here at the bottom left. Don't forget that this call has been recorded and it's going to be on YouTube tomorrow. And definitely check out the other calls because this system can help your business grow if you use it. If you just sign up, we're going to charge you $60 a month. And if you don't use it, we're still going to charge you $60 a month. And that's really not our business model. We want our clients to have their business grow because then they tell other people. And we know that. Should we run multiple ads if we have multiple leads at the time? If you have multiple listings, you should probably run multiple ads. Sanjeev, I'm not quite sure that question. We have multiple leads at the same time. Yeah. Yeah, you can run multiple ads. You could run a PDF guide ad at the same time that you're running an open house ad, right? You could run a what is your home worth ad at the same time that you're running just sold, right? Two different ads, and they're both after the same thing. So I hope this helped you. Thanks everybody for your questions and thanks for hanging out with me. We'll talk soon.